For those who don't know, my name is Yennely Moss. Currently, I am the Clinical Success Manager with Interstaff. I have been with Interstaff for many years. I was also an Interstaff nurse, like a lot of you are in the process. I'm originally from Costa Rica, born and raised. Started my nursing career a long time ago, very long time ago. I've been a nurse for a little over 20 years. So it's been quite a journey. I still remember the day when I made the decision to pursue my nursing career here in the US. I was in school in a class. We had a nurse from Costa Rica that had migrated to the US come and talk to us and, encourage us to come to the US as well. And that's when it clicked. I had always um, I had always known that my calling was to be a nurse, and I wanted more opportunities, more growth, more chances to learn and serve others. So I thought that this was my chance to do that with my career. Now, the journey was not easy. I Once I finished, I couldn't finish my nursing career in the set time. I had to stop because of financial reasons and then restart my career work and then restart my career again. And then once I finished and I graduated, I was very excited. I looked for a job in my home country. I was very tired and exhausted in the conditions that I was working, but my dream was to come, and become a USRN. I started studying on my own for the NCLEX. When I was working full time on my lunch break, I doubted myself a lot of times, especially, because it felt a lot overwhelming and pressure at some points. I had a few family members, aunts, that were nurses here in the US, and they were encouraging me to come and they will help me and so forth. After I felt prepared to come, I came to take my test, and it was not easy. I took my test twice before I was able to pass it, but I finally passed my exam. Um, and I thought, okay, this is it. I passed my exam. Now I just find a job and I start working. But little did I know that it was not that easy. I didn't have a great understanding of the immigration process. So um, I started the process on my own. I found an attorney. I looked for a hospital that will hire me. I had an interview. I paid this attorney a lot of money, and he didn't explain that we were in retrogression. So he would say, "Oh, yeah, yeah, you will get this done soon. Don't worry about it. In a few months." A few months pass, and nothing. More months pass, and those months became a year, 2 years, and nothing was happening. Well, we were in retrogression, and I didn't understand that until years later. That word retrogression haunted me for months because I felt my plans were pushed back. The paperwork was just there, stalled, was not moving, and I felt like I was stuck in a limbo. So I decided to, well, I can't just sit down and wait. So I continue with my life, still having my dream of becoming a USRN. I got married, I had children, well, child, I only have one daughter. And maybe after 8 years of waiting, still on retrogression, I came across a post on Facebook from Interstaff. They were looking for NCLEX passers. So I'm like, oh, I'm an NCLEX passer. Maybe this is my opportunity. And then I applied with them. And at the time that I reapplied with Interstaff, retrogression was coming to an end. So they were able to bring me and my family after almost 10 years of waiting because of retrogression. I was so excited because I thought I had not given up on my dream, but at the same time, I wasn't sure when it was going to happen. But I would say that during the time that I was waiting, I pour myself into, sharpening my skills, learning more about the US hospital systems. I improve my English, especially in the medical vocabulary. I stay connected with my dream, and I also learn on others. I lean on other nurses and people that were going through the same process, and just understanding that the delay was not a denial. It was just a delay. So, like I said, finally came. It was a dream come true, being in the airport, knowing that I was leaving behind everything that I knew and I was coming to this new place to get started. But it was something that I was looking forward to do. So, my first job in the US was both exciting and at the same time overwhelming because, I was coming from a different system. It was a learning process. I had to pace myself because it was very fast. There were high expectations, not just from the hospital, but also from myself. But I also remind myself, you belong here. You've been waiting for this for the longest time. You put in all this work. Just, go through it. Every shift, every patient, every challenge taught me a lot and shaped me to the person that I am right now. And now, years later, not only, I became a USRN, I have the honor to help other international nurses like you guys to navigate through the same journey. I understand it. I went through it. I learned as well. And it's something that I understand. I have been in every single stage of all the stages that you guys have been. I've had family. I had to wait. I I came. So it's the process. I've gone through the whole process, waiting for a long time and not knowing if it was gonna come through. In my role now as a core staff, I make sure that we put you guys nurses first, that we understand that your family and your life in your home countries are also important because I've been there as well. Every nurse that are facing retrogression right now, immigration delays or doubts, all these things, you're not alone. We've been there. We understand. Your dream is still valid, and keep learning, keep growing, keep believing. Your story is still being written. Like mine was never, although it was a long process, it never stopped. Yours is the same, and everybody have a different journey. Everybody have a different experience. This waiting process, the reason why we are in this waiting process, we don't know, but we have to make the best out of it. Not that you have worked and earned, this degree, passing your exam, preparing your heart, facing all this. What can you do while you're waiting? During this waiting period, remember that you shouldn't be standing still. Every moment you invest can prepare you for a stronger and more confident transition once you're here in the US. Let me give you a couple of things or a few things that you can be doing while you're waiting. For example, you can take online courses or certifications. These courses can be the ones that we assign you. In some stages of your process, we will assign Relias modules and courses. Please take them. These are meant for you to prepare for when you come here. Sometimes when we're in our home countries, we don't understand a lot of things, but these courses are going to help you understand the things that you're going to need once you're here. Attend webinars and virtual nursing conferences if it's possible. What is possible? We here in Interstaff, we provide webinars, and once you get in a certain stage of the process, attend those webinars. Use those webinars to ask questions, to clarify anything that you don't understand or you don't know. The nurses that provide the webinars are seasoned nurses here in the US, so they understand very well the system. You can also join professional nurse communities online, in LinkedIn, Facebook groups, They will provide you, or you will be able to understand a little bit of how the nursing culture is here in the US. You can also review your NCLEX style questions. I used to do that when I was back in my home country before I came, just trying to understand how is the train of thought as a nurse here in the US. Practice communication, learn more about the US documentation standards and terminology. That will help a lot once you start working and during orientation. And like I said, stay connected to your agency, to us. If you need something, just come to Interstaff. We're here to help and to guide you. Reach out to fellow nurses that are going through the same process. They will understand. You're not alone. It's not like you're in this boat alone. There's a lot of people that are in the same boat, and you can encourage each other. You can also mentor other nurses. By mentoring and helping others helps you as well. And don't forget to practice self-care, mental wellness. It's okay to feel frustrated sometimes, but don't let that frustration define who you are. You're a different person. Celebrate wins, then also set short-term goals, and this will give you a purpose while you're waiting. And then this delay is real, but it's not your potential. Keep your vision clear and your heart open, and keep on working. After, a few years of being in the US, 5 to be exact, I was able to become a US citizen last year along with my family. And, this is not the end. This is just the beginning of many things that we can do with our careers in the future. Follow the instructions, and stay true to yourself. And I hope that my experience will encourage you to keep on going, to don't give up. And then once you're here, once you get here, this is not the end. It's actually the beginning. There are many things that you will be able to do once you get to the US, but keep that in mind. And we, as your agency, we're here to support you, like I mentioned before. Wilfred, yeah, I know the visa bulletin is not moving. But like I said before, there's things that we don't have control over. However, just be patient. Things will change. If we had a magic a magic wand to make things change, you can imagine all the things that we can do. But we just gotta be patient. I see Jaminu from Ghana. What are some of the online sites that you can use to learn more about U.S. healthcare system? Tanya, there are many. So what I can have you do, email directly the clinical services team, and we can provide that information for you. Email clinical services at interstaffinc.com, and we can provide you with that information. Just say, I need some online sites that can help me learn about the U.S. healthcare system, and we can provide you with that information. Oh, how long does the relocation process take after passing the NCLEX? Well, it depends, and that because of retrogression is hard to say, but it depends when your priority date becomes available, or current, not available, current. But we have to wait on that priority date. Among critical care nursing, nephrology nursing, and accident and emergency nursing, which one is more valuable? Well, all certifications are valuable. And like I said before, knowledge is key. The knowledge that you gain in any of these will help you, in your practice. So choose the one that you're more passionate about, the one that you feel like you will grow here. All different specialties in the US are valuable. So whichever you think is your passion, choose that one and go for it. Have been taking studies for NCLEX World, but I am not able to achieve the required target. What do I do? Well, that's a very good question. You might have to find your learning style. Sometimes changing the learning style will help you. I will say from my experience, when I was studying for NCLEX, the first time I studied, I did not pass. I did not have the right approach for my learning style. I thought I was studying the right way, and it didn't work, and I didn't pass the exam. So I changed my learning style. I learned how I learn better, if that makes sense. And I use that learning style for myself, and that's how I was able to pass the NCLEX. So my advice would be to um, find which is your learning style, and then use that approach to study for you to be successful for your NCLEX. UWorld, the UWorld review teach you a lot of critical thinking and how to answer the correct question for your NCLEX exam. The style of UWorld is very similar to what the NCLEX exam is. So take that advice. Find your learning style and then apply it to UWorld and your study methods. And then hopefully with that, you will be able to pass your NCLEX. His question is, please, if you're joining Interstaff being single and later stage on the process, I got married and want to migrate with my spouse, it is possible with Interstaff? Yes, it is possible. You just got to inform us on time. It is advisable to follow only the UWorld study plan. Some it depends. Some people do use UWorld only and they pass the exam. Some others use UWorld and they add something else to their study. And like I said, not everybody's study style is the same. So if you feel like UWorld is not enough for you, you can add more things to it and use it as a supplement, or vice versa. So it is hard to say, oh, this is the best thing, just do this, because everybody learns in a different way, different style, different ways, like I said. So learn your learning style, and if you feel like you need to add something, do that. Some people will learn only by reading, some others have to practice, others just listening. You will have videos, lectures that you can also access to study. So try to find the best learning method for you. Okay. All right, very good. So it is time for me to end, but it was really nice to share a little bit of my experience with y'all today. I hope to see you guys soon, very soon. Please stay in touch with us. For those who attend the webinars, continue to attend the webinars. Like I said, knowledge is power. So the more knowledge, it will help you in the long run in a clinical setting. And I hope you have a good rest of your day. We will talk soon. Bye-bye.